Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Alina Castro Gonzalez, and I represent Logan Gold. I will proceed with my closing argument now. When Logan Gold drove down to the lake that cold November morning, she had no idea that just a few miles away, Taylor Alexander was staging her own kidnapping. No idea that she would be falsely accused and put on trial. No idea that she would be framed for a crime that never even occurred. Stage actor, stage house, staged crime. Let's start with stage actor. Today, Miss Alexander admitted that she had acting experience and even won a Best Actor award in college. The acting skills she employed to frame Miss Gold for kidnapping. You also heard about the contentious race for city council, a race Miss Alexander was desperate to win to avoid financial ruin. How she had purchased 2 vacation rental homes that were her only source of income. And how she believed Miss Gold and her partner were horrible for Emerald Bend, that they needed to be stopped. To stop them, Miss Alexander came up with a bold plan. She decided to stage her own kidnapping and frame Miss Gold. Second, staged house. On cross-examination, Deputy Kim admitted that there were no eyewitnesses, no security camera footage, no tire tracks, and no physical evidence whatsoever placing Miss Gold at the scene of the crime. But the key piece of evidence is that the kidnapping took place at Miss Alexander's own rental property. Your Honor, I want you to stop and think about that for a second. How could Miss Gold know there was going to be no tourists staying for the weekend? The fact is, she couldn't have. The fact is, there's only one person that could have known. Taylor Alexander herself. Third, stage crime. Today, Miss Alexander claimed her captor used the phrase, "everything comes back around." But several witnesses testified that Miss Gold used this phrase all the time on her partner's campaign, and that Miss Alexander knew about it. As for the wrist markings on Miss Alexander, today you heard 2 experts testify that it's very easy to bind one's own wrists using a slip knot, and that it wouldn't be difficult to escape, especially with the help of another individual. Which brings us to podcaster CJ Costley, a man who admitted to profiting off of the Taylor Alexander kidnapping story, a man who had covered another kidnapping story on his podcast, and a man whose whereabouts on the day of the event were never questioned until today. Additionally, Miss Gold has an alibi. She was delivering campaign flyers when her car broke down. Your Honor, the state has failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Miss Gold is guilty of the crime for which she is charged. In fact, there's reasonable doubt as to whether a crime was committed at all. Stage actor, staged house, staged crime. Find Logan Gold not guilty. Thank you.